So good evening to all. Uh, so are you hearing my voice, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. We'll move further. Okay. So yesterday we stopped at the operators, that is logical operators. In that logical not operator, we have stopped at that point. Now we will continue with the uh, assignment operator. Okay. Okay. So assignment operator, an operator which is used to copy the data or a result of an expression to a variable is called an assignment operator. So uh, here copy means to assign, okay, and data is nothing but a value. So we can call it as data or a value. And in some cases, uh, we have to call it as data. In some cases, we have to call it as value. In some cases, both are same, data and value. So an operator which is used to copy, that means to assign the value or the result of an expression. Expression is nothing but equation. So whenever an equation is there or an expression is there, we will expect some result, and that result, if we want to copy to a variable, then we will use this operator, that is assignment operator, is called as assignment operator. The assignment operator is denoted by equals to sign. Okay, so we should not include this single quotes just to indicate I have written. So actually we have to use only equal to sign. Okay, to denote assignment operator. So here is the general form or the syntax. So variable equals to expression. Okay. So today's class we will go a little bit slow because it's very important topic throughout the C programming language, assignment operator as well as increment decrement operators. So let me explain in detail this one. Okay. See, in mathematics we come across the formulas. So similarly, in programming language we come across general form, or we can call it as a syntax. That is nothing but a formula type. So if we remember the general form for some of the things, then while writing a program it will help a lot. So otherwise, what we have to do, for every program we have to remember that particular line. So instead of that we have to remember the formula, that is nothing but the syntax. In mathematics also, to solve the problems, so if we remember the formulas it will help a lot for us. So for example, in algebra, in mathematics we come across like, uh, just I'm giving an example, a plus b whole square. Okay, so here uh, in notepad I don't know how to denote, but I'm explaining it. A square plus b square plus 2ab. So in this way we come across one formula. Okay. So similarly, so in programming language formulas are called as syntax or general form. So here for assignment operator we have the formula, that is variable equals to expression. Okay, so this is the formula, variable equals to expression. See, this is the general statement you have to remember. Okay, whenever we use assignment operator. So now in this we should know what is a variable and what is an expression. So we know variable is an identifier, or we know variable is a name given to the computer memory location. So we came across definitions. Okay, so variable is a quantity which can change its value. Variable is an identifier which stores a value. Variable is a name given to the computer memory location. So in all the three cases, we came to know that variable will contain a value and can change its value during the execution of a program. Okay. Next, coming to the expression on the RHS. So here we can consider LHS equals to RHS. So coming to the right hand side expression. So this expression, hmm, expression can be a constant, okay, or a variable, or expression. So expression is nothing but, if you want to understand it better, you can consider it as equation. Okay. So on the RHS, what we have used is expression. That expression can be constant or a variable or a or another expression. So we can consider. But in the LHS, only variable is allowed. That is the meaning here. Because from we have to understand the formula correctly here, syntax. So on the LHS only variable is allowed, but on the RHS, so we can write constant, or we can write a variable, or we can write the expression. And here the meaning of variable equals to expression is, it is not like LHS proving LHS equal to RHS, or comparing LHS and RHS. Okay, again I will tell, it is not like proving LHS equal to RHS or comparing LHS and RHS value. So here what happens, RHS value, right hand side value, will be copied to left hand side. So that is the meaning here. So for that you have to remember one more formula. Formula in the sense, actually it is not defined. So I just got a thought to remember like this. 2 is equals to from. If you remember this, it will help a lot. That is, from which variable or from which constant or from which equation you are copying, that you write it on the right hand side. To which variable you are copying, you write it on the left hand side. So in case of left hand side in LHS, remember, you should write always variable. You cannot write a constant, or you cannot write a expression. Okay, only variable is allowed. But on the RHS, you can write a constant or a variable or an expression. So whenever you use assignment operator in a statement, in addition to this formula, you just remember this formula also. Okay. So, but in academics, when they ask in the exam, you need not write this formula 2 equals to from. If you write only variable equal to expression is enough. But while tracing the program, while analyzing the program, when we come across assignment statements, if we remember this formula, it will help a lot. So from which variable or from which constant or from which equation you are copying the value, that you write it on the right hand side. To which variable you are copying, you write it on the left hand side. So now you see, same thing I have explained, where expression can be constant or a variable or an expression. Now example, we will see examples. First one, a is equals to 10. Okay. So again I will tell, here it is not LHS equal to RHS. We have not proved here LHS equal to RHS, or we are not comparing LHS and RHS. So what it happens is, see here 10 is a constant. So this value 10 will be copied into variable A. So this is the memory representation. You just look at the right side of this Word document. This is the memory representation. So let us go back to variable definition, so that you will understand. Okay. See, in the third definition of variable, that is, variable is a name given to the computer memory location. So variable is a name given to the computer memory location. So if we consider these are the computer memory locations. So computer memory locations are nothing but, like, if we consider 64 kilobytes of RAM, okay, or 128 kilobytes of RAM. So in that, what happens? Memory locations will be there. So this is just a rough diagram what we have what I have indicated. Right? In this way, we can understand computer memory locations. Okay. So if we consider these computer memory locations, for computer memory locations, addresses will be there. Okay. Like we have our home address. Okay. So similarly, for computer memory locations, addresses will be there. So when we type something from the keyboard, capital letter, small letter, or a digit or a symbol, that will store it in a computer memory. So computer knows where it is stored because it will keep track of the address. But for a user, for a programmer, or for one who is using PC or a laptop, he or she doesn't know where the value is stored, because we cannot keep track of the address every time. For that purpose, what we have to do in programming language, whenever we store a value in a computer memory location, for that computer memory location, we have to give the name. Meaning, if we will not remove the RAM slot and give the name, by writing the statement in a program, it will give some name for the computer memory location. And so it will take random memory. It's not like in sequence. It will take random memory, and that in that random memory, that value is stored. For that memory location, name is given, and that name is nothing but a variable here. Okay, so you have to remember this definition throughout the programming language. Variable is a name given to the computer memory location. So we write a statement for that. After writing the statement, that name is assigned to any of these locations, and in that location the value is stored. So here I have given the example. NUM is a variable name, 100 is the value. Okay, and when defining this variable name, you have to remember the identifier rule. So in this way, these things are linked. Okay, you cannot forget anything. So when we are giving variable name, you have to remember this identifier rules. Okay. That is, first character should not be digit, blank spaces not allowed, keywords not allowed, symbols except underscore is not allowed. These rules you have to remember while writing the variable name. So once you write the variable name, it is understood that some value is stored in that, and that value can change at any point in a program. Okay, now coming to the assignment operator. Okay, so here a is a variable name. You just apply the identifier rules, it will hold good. So first character is should not be digit. So we have used only one character, so one character is allowed, and that character should not be digit. Yes, a is not a digit, and a doesn't come in keywords list, and we have not used any blank space, and we have not used any symbols. Underscore is allowed, but underscore is not compulsory. If we need it, we can use it. Otherwise, we can omit it. But other symbols we have to not use. So writing like capital letters A to Z or small letters A to Z are valid identifiers. So if in order to write a variable name, if you use small size variable name, it will be easy to remember for us. So here a is a variable and 10 is a value. So this 10 is stored in variable a. So how to indicate that? You have to write in this way. You just write in a rough column like this. A, write one box. That box indicates computer memory location. You need not write some 10 to 15 locations as I showed in variable definition. Just write one box enough, and you write that value, whatever the value you used. Here you have used 10, you can use any value, any integer value or floating point value. You just write that value in that box. It is understood that a is a variable. That means a is a variable, variable name for a computer memory location, and in that computer memory location the value 10 is stored. So this is the meaning of assignment operator. So again I will tell you, here we are not proving LHS equal to RHS, or we are not comparing LHS equal to RHS. The value 10 is stored in variable a. That a is nothing but the name given to the computer memory location, and in that location value 10 is stored. So when we write a equals to 10 from RHS, it will be copied to LHS. Now in the second example, a equals to b. So as I said, on the right hand side, it can be constant or a variable or an expression. So in the second example, if you look at the right hand side, b is a variable. So it is not a constant, it is a variable, but it is allowed according to the syntax and the rules. It is allowed. Whereas if you look at the left hand side, it is a variable. A is a variable. That is true, because on the LHS you have to use always variable. Okay, so here a equal to b, here b is a variable. See, we don't know the value of a and b, it's fine, but let us understand the statement. What happens? You look at this memory. Okay, whatever the value present in variable b, that is copied to the variable a. That is the meaning here. Let it, whatever the value it is there, let it be. When we write a program and we display the value, we will come to know what are the values present in a and b, but we will understand the statement. So from RHS it is copied to LHS. So in the RHS variable b is present. In that some value is stored. And one more point to remember: whenever we define a variable in a program, if we don't give any value also, some value is stored initially, that is given by the compiler. Okay, and if we try to copy that value to another variable in the LHS, that value is copied. Whatever the compiler stores the value, that value is stored, and in the next line we can change the value. So here, by looking at this memory, we can understand whatever the value present in variable b, that value is copied to the variable a. That is the meaning. So again I will tell you, from which variable you are copying, write it on the right hand side. To which variable you are copying, write it on the left hand side. If we reverse, the meaning will change. If I write b is equals to a, then I have to write different memory representation here. So that arrow mark should come from a to b now, because from variable a it will copy it to b. So whenever we write assignment statement, we should be very careful. So it is a equal to b is not same as b equal to a in case of assignment operator. Whereas in case of relational operator, if you use a double equals to symbol, here a equals to b is same as b equals to a. Okay, both are same, because here we are comparing, we are not copying any value, just we are comparing LHS and RHS value, we are comparing. So you can write in any way, but when you write in assignment operator, should be very careful. So from which variable you are copying, write it on the right hand side. To which variable you are copying, write it on the left hand side. Okay, now coming to the third example, here a equals to b plus c. So as I said, on the right hand side expression is this, that is nothing but an equation. So you can use equation, direct equation on the right hand side. So b plus c is one equation, that is arithmetic expression. Equation is nothing but expression. Here we have used arithmetic operator, so it is called arithmetic expression. So b plus c we can use. So here what happens? First it will calculate b plus c. The result is copied to a. That is the meaning. So b plus c is calculated. The result is copied to a. So we will see three examples. In the first example, value 10 directly it is copied to a. In the second example, b value is copied to a. In the third example, b plus c is calculated, then it is copied to a. So for two things I have showed the memory representation. For the first example, variable is a, 10 is the value in the computer memory location. In the second example, we don't know the values, but the meaning is value of b is copied to a. In the third example, b plus c is calculated first, that value is copied into a. Okay, so this is the assignment operator. You just copy this. If you come across any doubt, you can ask.
My request, if you can just once again explain about this assignment operator.
Should I explain once again, sir?
Yeah, if you can, it will be helpful.
Okay.
Because I could not follow some sequences. So,
Okay, fine. Was it any problem with voice or how?
no. I had some interruption in between on my side.
Okay, fine.
So if you can help me with that, because for around a minute I was on pause.
Okay, fine.
And I couldn't hear anything at all. So if you can oblige here, that will be helpful.
Okay, fine. No problem. We'll do it. Okay. So others can copy if you are comfortable with assignment operator. Otherwise, you can wait for 2-3 minutes. Let me finish it. Okay. So in assignment operator, the definition says an operator which is used to copy. Copy means to assign the data. The data is nothing but a value. So in some cases, both data and value are same. In some cases, data and value are different. So here, let us understand that data and value are same, or a result of an expression. Expression is nothing but an equation. So once we calculate the result of an equation, that also we can copy to the variable is called as assignment operator. So it is denoted by equals to sign. Okay. Now this is the general formula, that is syntax we have to remember whenever we use assignment operators in the program. Okay. The formula says variable equals to expression. Okay. So like in mathematics, I said if there is a formula like a is equals to b. Okay. It doesn't mean that in every problem we have to use a and b variables only. So in problems we can change it to like x equal to y. Only thing is we have to follow that statement. So on the LHS a is present, on the RHS b is present. Instead of a I am writing x, instead of b I am writing y. In that way we will use in mathematics. Here also in the LHS variable is present, in the RHS expression is present. So in the LHS always we have to use the variable. In the coming to the RHS, we can use in place of expression either the constant or a variable or an expression. The meaning of expression itself is like that. We can use either the constant or a variable or an expression. Now go to the first example, a equals to 10. So 10 is a constant on the RHS. That 10 is copied to a. Okay, here it is not LHS equal to RHS, or we are not comparing LHS with RHS. The value 10 is copied to a. So here 10 is a constant. So if you look at this memory representation, so a is a variable name. So this box indicates computer memory location. In that box, value 10 is there. Okay, that is the computer memory location. Next, coming to the second example, a equals to b. So here b is a variable. That means in the RHS I have used variable instead of constant. I have used variable. Means that is allowed. Okay. So here we don't know the values of a and b, but still we can understand that whatever the value present in b, it is copied to a. Okay. So that means if you remember this formula, it will help a lot. 2 equals to from which variable or from which constant or from which equation we are copying, write it on the right hand side. To which variable you are copying, write it on the left hand side. Okay. Now here a equals to b is not same as b equals to a, because if I write a equals to b, from b variable it is copied to a. If I write b equals to a, from a variable it is copied to a. So whenever we use assignment statement, we have to be very careful. So both statements are not same. So if you look at the memory representation, you'll understand from b variable the value is copied to a variable. That means whatever the value present in the memory location of b is copied to the memory location of a. That is the meaning here. Next, coming to the a equals to b plus c. So here on the LHS I used one equation because that is allowed. According to the definition, expression can be constant or a variable or an expression. Expression is nothing but equation. So b plus c is allowed. So first it will calculate b plus c value. That value is copied to a. So here b plus c is an expression. Got it, sir?
Yes, yeah, it's clear now. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Okay. So if you will copy the notes, after that we'll continue. Okay, so you people copy this. Just you copy this two equals to from, so that it will help you to write an assignment statement in a program. Okay. Um, so two equals to from. The meaning of this is from which variable we we are copying should be on RHS. That is right hand side. To which variable. LHS. So this point you have to remember when we write an assignment statement. You have to remember this point, because if suppose instead of writing A equals to B, if I write B equals to A, so then complete value will change. So we cannot expect our correct result, okay, in the output. So A equals to B means B is copied to A, B equals to A means A is copied to B. Okay, so from which variable you are copying should be on RHS, to which variable you are copying should be on LHS. So in RHS it can be variable or constant or an expression. Just one example I have given, that variable. Okay, you just copy this. Okay, so we will move further. So next comes the topic, operators classification based on operands. So the meaning of this is operators can be classified based on the number of operands they act on. So till now what we have discussed operators. So it is like, so for example, if I say arithmetic operator, okay. So how we can categorize this operator is depending on the operation. Okay, that is if I say plus, okay, so plus will do addition operation. So I can put this in the category arithmetic operator. And if I consider less than, so it performs the comparison operator. So I can put it in relational operator. Okay. So now coming to this particular topic, operators classification based on operands. Of course, by looking at the operator, we can say which type of operator it is. But in addition to that, what they're telling, how many operands we are using, that also matters here. That is, see, for example, if I consider the equation A plus B, okay. So before plus we have one operand, after plus we have one operand. That is, A is a variable, B is a variable. So in this case, what we can consider is A, A and B. So here we have two operands. Okay. So then this plus is called as binary operator. So binary means two. Okay. If suppose if I write minus A, because for minus symbol even we can write only one operand. So here only one operand is there. That is A is an operand. So what we can call it as is minus is called as unary operator here. Of course, we can write A minus B. That is also there. And even we can write minus A also. Unary minus we can call. So wherever we have two operands, there we should call it as binary operator. Okay. The word binary we have to use. So wherever we have only one operand, we have to use the word unary operator. Okay. So operators classification based on number of operands we are using. Okay, in some cases, for example, if I write A plus B greater than B plus C, so here little bit confusion, right? So what we have to do is, see, if you consider individual statements like A plus B, sorry, A plus B one statement, B plus C another statement, and hold together a plus b greater than b plus c. See, I will tell you now. So if you consider a plus b, a and b are operands, plus is an operator. If you consider b plus c, b and c are operands, plus is an operator. So if you consider a plus b, two operands are there, a and b, then plus becomes binary operator. Similarly, b plus c, two operands are there, b and c. So if you take out the operators, remaining thing are all operands. Okay. So b plus c, so b and c are two operands, so plus is an binary operator. If you consider this complete equation, here also we can define how means. See, you consider only greater than symbol. Okay, with respect to greater than symbol. So with respect to greater than symbol, before greater than symbol, one equation I got, that is a plus b. This equation, you consider this as first operand. Complete thing you consider it as operand. Okay. Next, on the RHS, that is after greater than symbol, I have b plus c. So you consider this as second operand. Complete equation you consider it as second operand. So now you can tell how many operands are there in this. With respect to greater than symbol, we have two operands. Before greater than symbol, a plus b, one operand. After greater than symbol, b plus c, another operand. That is second operand. Now, when we have two operands, then this greater than symbol becomes binary operator. Okay. In this way, we can write number of operands, meaning before the operator and after the operator, how many operands we are using. Depending on the number of operands, we can put in the category unary operator, binary operator, and ternary operator. Ternary operator means where we come across three operators. So that we will discuss separately. Okay. So we will look at this notes. Operators can be classified based on the number of operands they act on. That means they operate on. Unary operator, single operand. Here operand meaning it can be variable or a constant or an equation, that is expression. Binary operator, two operands. Ternary or conditional operator. So ternary operator is also called as conditional operator. So three operands it will use. Next, coming to the unary operators. Operators which act on one operand are called as unary operators. So as I said, operand can be variable or a constant or an equation. So if it uses only one variable or one constant or one equation, then it is called as unary operator. The types of unary operators are, so here we have types. Okay, increment operator, decrement operator. So see, when we use this plus symbol two times without leaving a blank space, then it is called increment operator. If you leave blank space, each plus symbol is called as arithmetic operator. So you should be very careful in writing here. So if we don't leave the blank space, if it is written continuously, then altogether it is called as increment operator. If you leave blank space, each plus symbol you have to consider, each plus symbol becomes arithmetic operator. So category itself it changes, type itself it changes. Okay. Coming to the minus also, if we use minus symbol by giving blank space in between, so each minus symbol is called as arithmetic operator. So if we write continuously without a blank space, then it is called as decrement operator. Okay, now we will see what is increment operator and what is decrement operator. So the operator plus plus, that is increment operator, adds 1 to its operand, and operator minus minus subtracts 1 from its operand. The meaning of this is, whenever we use plus plus operator, whatever the value is present for the operand, it will increase by one value. That is the meaning. So whenever we use plus plus operator, whatever the value present for an operand, so operand means here you have to consider variable. Whatever the value present for an variable or an equation or an expression also we can consider, that value will be increased by 1. That's all. Okay. When we use minus minus, whatever the value present for a variable or an equation, that value will be decreased by 1. So that is the meaning. Operator plus plus adds 1 to its operand. Operator minus minus subtracts 1 from its operand. Both increment and decrement operator may precede. Precede means prefix, before, or follow. Postfix means after the operand. So you can write either before the operand or after the operand. So prefix meaning before, postfix meaning after. Precede or follow the operand. So for example, x equals to x plus 1. So it's very simple. So x equals to x plus 1 can be written as, so first I will tell you what is x equal to x plus 1. Okay, so that you will understand. See, if I consider x equals to 10. Okay, next if I write x equal to x plus 1. So here equals to symbol is an assignment operator. So what we have to do, we should not compare or we should not prove LHS equal to RHS. Instead, what we have to do is, this RHS value we have to copy to x again. Okay. In mathematics also we do. So LHS, keep it as it is. You don't substitute in the LHS. In RHS, so what is the value of x? We have taken x value as 10, substituted the value 10. Okay, plus 1. Now, complete result you consider. X equals to 10 plus 1 is 11. Now, new value of x is 1. I hope you people have understood now. So, this increment and decrement operator, let us go very slowly because in every program we come across. So, x equals to 10. Next, x equal to x plus 1. Don't substitute in the LHS, only substitute in the RHS. That is, in the RHS, substitute the value of x. 10 plus 1. 1 you keep it as it is. 10 plus 1 is 11. Now, new value of x is 11. In that way, you have to understand. That means, in the computer memory location where the memory location name is x, in that location, value 11 is stored. That means, whatever the value 10 is there, it will be replaced by the value 11. That is the meaning of x equal to x plus 1. So, from this statement we can understand very easily. Plus means what? Plus is used to add. Okay, so after the plus, whatever the value we write, it will add. So for example, if I write x equal to x plus 10, okay, if I write x equals to x plus 10, then you can consider 10 plus 10. So then our value becomes 20. So 10 plus 10 is 20. So whatever after the plus symbol, whatever we use the value, that value is added. But in case of plus plus, okay, in case of plus plus, it will increase only by 1. Okay, not by the value what we give, it will increase only by 1. Okay, so now we will consider in that way only. Instead of adding some other number, we will add only one number. Okay, because we will understand this plus plus operator. Okay, so x equal to x plus 1, x equal to 10 plus 1. So our new value of x is 11. Okay, now what they are telling, so this x equals to x plus 1 can be written as, okay, can be written as, see, you just observe here, plus plus without a space x or x plus plus. So in both ways we can write. That means first you write the operator, then variable, or first variable, then operator. So we can write in any way. Okay, both the operations will do same thing. That is, it will add 1. So it will add 1 to which variable? To x variable. That's all. Okay, that means instead of writing x equal to x plus 1, we can write either plus plus x or x plus plus. So final result will be x equals to 11. That's all. That means we have taken x equal to 10. We are writing plus plus x or plus x plus plus. Before the operator, you can write the variable, or after the operator, we can write the variable. In whichever way you write, finally that value will be added by 1. That variable will be added by 1. So final result of x equals to 11. So that only they are telling. For example, x equal to x plus 1 can be written as plus plus x, that is first operator afterwards variable, or first variable afterwards operator. And x equal to x minus 1 can be written as minus minus x, x minus minus 1. It's very simple. Plus plus will add 1, minus minus will subtract 1. That's all. Now comes the question, if we have two options, that is plus plus x and x plus plus, we have two options and both will result in the same value, then why we need two things? Of course, this question comes for us. Okay, so that answer is present in the next paragraph. See, you look at this. The placement of an operator before or after a variable, that is, variable is nothing but operand here, decides the timing of an increment or decrement process. That means, see, if you are writing plus plus x or if you are writing x plus plus, we say that both will do the same operation. But what they are telling is, if you write plus plus x, it will do some other operation. So in the next example, you will come to know. Or if you write x plus plus, the operation is different. So in the next example, it is there. So what they're telling, the placement of an operator before or after a variable. So if you write before variable, what happens? If you write after variable, what happens? It is decided, that is, it decides the timing of an increment or decrement process. Let us consider only increment here, because whatever the things we discuss for increment, it is exactly same for decrement. Only thing is, in increment we will add by 1, in decrement we will subtract from 1. That's all. We will subtract the value 1. Okay, now you just copy till here, because if I explain this example completely, this you may forget, because example is a little bit difficult here, I will tell you. So you just copy the topic operators classification based on operands, 3 types, and you just copy unary operator. We will see in detail of increment and decrement operator with example.